All right. Norma? State, this is your case, Toledo.
Yes, Judge.
How long do you think this trial is going to last?
No more than a week. If counsel would disagree with that.
No,
All
Your Honor,
right.
I think that's appropriate. I apologize.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, 3-day trial, family violence, please.
Oh, okay.
All right, you all will be in impact on November 4th. All right, Kelly Cochner. Come forward. Okay, why are we here?
Judge, first
Two
thing,
things, yeah.
well, Judge, the first thing is that the blood discovery order was never signed. So we need that in order to actually send off and get.
Okay, I've signed it previously, but I'll sign it again.
You signed it?
Yeah, I've signed it previously. I remember signing this.
I've been looking all over for the order. I went to 2 clerks and they didn't find it.
And you all signed that, Mr. Escobar?
Yes, Judge.
And Ms. Ferguson, if you can make a copy for them or that, or have the clerks give him a copy.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And we're here on a motion to alter and amend conditions of bond.
Oh, do you need that?
All right, there's. All right. Yes,
She's here, but okay, sorry.
need to have the state up here.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Marie, are you ready? Court is calling 2024 CR 6359, State of Texas versus Kelly Cochner. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense,
George Sharman on behalf of Ms. Cochran.
are you Ms. Cochner?
Yes, Judge.
All right, defense has filed a motion to alter and amend bond conditions. They're asking for removal of the GPS monitor. State, do you have any objections?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are your objections?
Judge, I believe this is the defendant's DWI, for the protection of the community. We think that the GPS should stay in place. Again, this is for the safety of the community. This is something that it's been an issue where when she gets in a car, there's possibility that she could be drinking. So that's what the state's main concern is.
All right, is she on a ignition interlock?
Yes, I am.
Well, no, excuse me, don't do that unless you're called as a witness. Does ignition interlock address that issue or does it not address the issue?
Judge, again, the worry is that the frequency of the DWI is the number it's at. An ignition interlock on one car doesn't mean that she's completely unable to get into another car. So that's why the state's concern for GPS is also to have that in place to have extra protection.
All right, so how will GPS show she's not in a vehicle though?
Well, Judge, if she has any type of full house arrest or partial, we know where she is, we know what type of hours, what her movement's gonna be. If she's not on GPS and we have no idea where she's going, she can leave her car with the ignition interlock there at her home and then immediately get into a car that's not with the ignition interlock.
All right, so she has put in here, or at least there's a letter attached to the motion stating that she is helping someone go to their doctor's appointments. So do you have any objections to her going to doctor's appointments with
Well,
someone?
Her doctor's appointments, no.
No. It's to another person, Mr. Eloy Lopez.
Really.
Have you had a chance to to read the affidavit that is attached to the motion?
I have to take this real quick.
No, it's not. It's just attached to the motion.
It's not.
I'm sure you're gonna- Really just short.
All right, thank you. All right, so State, did you have a chance to review the affidavit attached to the motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you still have your same objections?
Yes, Judge.
All right, first question, defense.
Yep.
Is this, the state has said that she has allegedly over 8 DWIs. Does she allegedly have over 8 DWIs?
That have been alleged, yes.
Okay. All right, so you've heard the state's concerns.
Well, I would like Ms. Cochran just to tell you why she needs to do this.
All right, can you raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Kelly Cotner.
All right, you may ask your questions.
Okay, Ms. Codner, just explain to the judge why you need to get that off of you to help this gentleman.
I am currently the caretaker for an elder gentleman by the name of Eloy Lopez Senior. And Mr. Lopez is 87 years old. And he has some cognitive decline. And recently I helped him recover. I administered drops and home recovery from 2 cataract surgeries. He loves me like a daughter now. I do everything. I feed him. I wash his dishes. I make sure that he does not have any falls. He uses a walker to get around, and he depends on me. And he cries and you know, he really cares for me, and I'm enjoying and getting a lot of fulfillment out of helping this man because he genuinely needs this help. He's hard of hearing, and when he goes to doctors or stores, I'm very gentle and kind with him, and he's not afraid to speak with me, and I can understand what he's trying to say rather than a stranger who might not be familiar with him might yell at him and try to understand what he's trying to say. I've been able to do that with doctors, nurses, and secretaries, etc. And this man loves me like a daughter, and I would like to be able to take him in an Uber comfortably and assist him at the doctor's office, at the grocery store where he can pick out his favorite groceries, which I provide for him.
All right, why can't that be done with GPS?
Well,
There
it's,
she-
go
No,
ahead.
no, she's on the witness stand. Why can't that be done with GPS?
Well, Your Honor, I've had no violations after 8.5 months on GPS.
No, my question is, why can't that be done with the GPS?
Well, I have to put in 24 hours notice for any GPS needs, which I've been able to do successfully for any needs of my own. But Mr. Eloy Lopez sometimes thinks right at the moment that he might need.
All right, state, with regards to her testimony, do you have any questions?
How long have you been employed by Mr. Lopez?
Since January of 2024.
And so far, you've had no issues reporting to probation or to pretrial any type of trip that you take to help him out. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So far, you've been able to accommodate helping him while also being on GPS.
Made it happen. It's been difficult, but yes.
Nothing further to say.
All right, any other questions?
Well, Ms. Codner, are you asking to be able to take him to other locations that you do not have access to right now?
Well, I have access to, what do you?
Well, in other words, you are in lockdown at home, correct?
Yes, sir.
And if he needs to go somewhere, you can't take him without permission, is that correct?
Correct.
Are you asking the judge to allow you to take him where he needs to go without having to contact pretrial services?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is the court's suggestion. My suggestion is you all step back. I'm not going to remove GPS. The problem is, one, people in my court, I don't allow them to be home healthcare providers, and that's what she's doing. However, she's not been convicted of this offense for the court, so the occupation is her occupation. I'm assuming, hopefully, that the family knows her history before they hired her. So I'm not going to remove the GPS. Y'all need to step back and work on a schedule. And that will be her schedule because she is on partial. So y'all work on a schedule that includes the person that she is caring for. And I would suggest that an address for that gentleman be included in this. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing to say.
I'll get with the state on that.
And if y'all will work on that, it will come back.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, who's here on Jordan Elijah Davis?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, Mr. Davis, before we go on the record, your attorney has filed a motion to withdraw from your case. Are you going to have any objections to that?
Well, can I just express, what's been going on between me and her?
No. Here's the thing. I want you to listen to my questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney-client relationship with her, that's a relationship between you two.
Mhm.
The whole issue is you have hired her, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
She no longer wants to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to have any objections or disagreement with her being released from her representation of you?
No, ma'am. The only objection that I have is as far as the contract.
Oh, here's the thing.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I don't interfere in a contract between an attorney and a client. That's a different court. This is a criminal court, okay?
Yes.
So we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 5244, State of Texas versus Jordan Elijah Davis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Jody Sawyers.
And are you Mr. Davis? All right, your attorney has filed a motion to withdraw. State, do you have any objections? All right, state, you may be excused. Mr. Davis, do you have any objections to her withdrawing from your case? All right, then that will be granted your excuse.
Okay. thank you,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Davis, do you need an attorney appointed to you?
For the time being, yes, ma'am.
No, it's not the time being. Do you need an attorney appointed to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just have a seat and we'll make sure we get an attorney for you, all right?
Thank
You're welcome. Who's here on Albert Samuel? I'm sorry, Samuel Joseph Albert. All right, if you'll come forward, please. So, Mr. Cabanas, your jury trial has concluded.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, on this case, you received all of the discovery.
I did, Your Honor.
State, were you able to tender an offer?
I have not heard about all.
All right, are you able to give an offer today?
I have, yes. I have cases,
That's right, Judge. So we filed and I have for the court 2 motions to lower bond.
All right, State, have you reviewed with him the,
I have reviewed the 2 motions that had on last number 657B. And then also 655A.
okay,
I know there's 3 indicted cases. I know at least 2 not indicted cases. Maybe.
all right. Are you all ready to proceed on the motions? All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 4655A and 2024 CR 4657B, State of Texas versus Samuel Joseph Albert Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garrett.
for the defense?
Good morning, Judge. Alfonso Cabañas for Mr. Samuel Joseph Albert Jr.
And are you Mr. Albert Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and each of these cause numbers, the defense has filed a motion requesting that the bond be reduced. And each cause number, the bond is currently set at $5,000. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, just other than Mr. Albert, who wants to testify regarding the bond amount.
All right. Mr. Albert, can you raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Off the record for a moment. Excuse me, Mr. McLean, and state. If you'll get the Zoom link from Ms. Ferguson, both of your experts are on Zoom. So I will send you all to a breakout room. State and defense, the jury room is probably going to be occupied because we're in a trial. If you would like to go into the back offices, you can.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
All right, we're back on the record. Defense, it's your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Albert, you and I have been in contact regarding the bond amount. Yeah, you and I have been in contact regarding the respective bond amounts for case 4655A and 4657B, correct? And,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
and you and I have tried, or you've told me that you've tried to post the bond amount for these respective cases, but you have been unable because you're detained, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
And has your family been able to post these bonds for you?
Currently, sir, I'm at no bond, remanded without bond.
Okay. Has your family tried to either get the money, have they contacted bond companies?
They have the money, sir, but I'm remanded without bond.
Okay. We're talking about these two cases, so these are the only ones that I'm representing you on. Okay. Are you asking the court on 4655A to lower the bond from 5,000 to 2,500?
Yes, sir.
And on 4657B, are you also asking the court to lower the bond from 5,000 to 2,500?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, is this an amount that you or your family can make to get you out on bond on these two cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to add to the court regarding these two cases and the respective bond amounts?
No, sir.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
All right, any questions?
Just a couple questions. What has your family or you've done to raise the funds to make your bond?
My family, all of my family has jobs, sir. Everyone has reached out, but I'm unable to make the bond because I guess I don't want to be wrong, but to be right, I'm remanded without bond. And I'm not understanding. I've been incarcerated for 4 months now.
Well, you're actually remanded without bond on about at least 1 to 4 cases, but the 2 cases that were here presently for, you have bond set at 5,000. And you're telling the court that you cannot make that $5,000 bond, is that correct?
To be honest, I can't make no bond remanded out without bond.
All right, so here's the question. We're not talking about the cases that you're remanded without bond on. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So get that out of your mind. Let's move away from that.
Yes, ma'am.
This attorney is representing you on 2 cases. On each of those cases, your bond is at $5,000. So focus on that. Don't think about the remain without bond. Focus on these cases. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So the state has asked, are you able to make the $5,000 bond in each of these cases?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you have money to make those bonds?
The 2,500, yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other questions, State? Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. So here's the court's question. On the docket sheet, he has 5 burglary of buildings with intent to commit theft. The state is telling me, and I haven't pulled up Odyssey, but the state is telling me that he has more cases that have been unindicted. Is that correct?
Judge, I know he has 3 non-indicted cases, CM cases.
All
And
right.
3 indicted cases.
Okay, thank you. Can you give me the offense dates of those cases?
Judge, that's what I was just trying to look up and Odyssey.
All right, thank you.
I will be able to, I just need to get on to, I'll have that in 1 second, Judge, because I'll get on our old system.
Thank you.
Yes.
Defense, do you know the offense dates off the top of your head?
For the unindicted cases, Your Honor?
And I
No,
know you're not on those
I'm
cases.
sorry, Judge, I don't. I apologize.
No, no need to apologize. You're not on those cases.
On the docket, if you look, go to the end of it, the offense dates are listed.
All right, so because they have that under subtype, I guess the writing is off. So according to the docket sheet,
It was
No,
on
we're-
January
okay,
Sorry, Judge, I do have the dates.
all right. So in CM 118202, what is the offense date?
It's January 7th, 2024, Judge.
And in CM 118206
Same date, Your Honor.
and CM 118347
Same date.
and 2024 CR 4656A.
Okay. January 6th, 2024, Your Honor.
And 2024 CR 4657B.
So
And are there any other outstanding cases?
only the other indicted case, Your Honor, that's Indian 55A. And that one is also on January 7th.
All right, the court will hear argument. Defense is your motion, so you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. So with respect to cases 4655A and 4657B, the motions that are before the court today, Your Honor, the court has heard from my client and that his family has been unable to post bond on these two cases for the respective amounts. And therefore, we're asking the court to lower those bond amounts on those two cases so my client can post bond and then fight the other allegations as well. While not in custody.
All right, state.
Your Honor, just for the safety of the community and buildings, the fact is that this individual has no less than at least 6 pending early in the building cases. And so the state's question that it remain at $5,000.
All right, Mr. Albert, part of the court's considerations when setting a bond is, of course, whether or not you can make the bond, because a bond, the purpose of it is to make sure that you will appear for court. But the other thing for the court to consider when setting a bond is the community. For example, will the community be safe? And sometimes when people look at whether or not a community will be safe, people think individuals. You know, is there a danger to the complainant of the case? Or are there dangers to just people in general in the community if a bond were lowered? In your case, property, that's a danger. So what the court will do is the court is going to deny your application for bond reduction in each of the cause numbers. Is there anything else?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I just want to ask, may I have a bond for whatever case I don't have a bond for?
All right. Who is your attorney on those cases?
May I also speak again? In 2020, it's Rick. I was in this.
All right, just have a see what we're going to do. Ms. Ferguson, if you can see who the attorney is on the CM case numbers. All right, and if you can have Mr. Russell Mitchell appear, and defense, are you retained on these cases?
No, Judge, appointed.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, see if you can get in touch with Russell Mitchell. And then Jason, if you'll tender an offer to the defense, and then defense, if you approach again, and I'll give you a court date if you need one.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, who's here on Joshua Montez? All right, where's Mr. Montez?
He's right here, Judge.
All right, so are you requesting a jury trial?
No, Judge, I think we've got a plea worked out. There's a few things that Mr. Montes needs to work out just with his employer regarding some of the conditions. And so I'll just be asking if we can come back next week and do the plea.
No, we can do the pleas today. And then I will set it for signature.
Okay, we can, that'll be fine, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, that's gonna be. Martin Torres. Where's Mr. Torres? Come forward. Yes, give me on. All right, Miss Ferguson, that's 2 days. Just 1 second. I'm so sorry. Hey, Mom, I know, I got it. All right, thanks, Mom. Bye-bye.
The only thing that calls me judge is duty.
Oh, you're so funny. His jokes, people, his jokes. I don't even know why he's a prosecutor. He should go, I mean, he could make millions upon millions of dollars. All right. On August, Norma, on this case, we need a jury trial date and it's going to be 2 days. All right. It will be October 8th. All right, you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. No, Your
Thanks for
Honor.
dressing always appropriately for court. I'm loving the three-piece. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Can you see custody or on bond?
He's on bond, Your Honor.
All right, can I see the file on Mr. Castillo, please?
Want to see on one?
All right, can I see the parties on Robert Castillo? And I think that's Daniel. All right, Mr. McLean, you were conferring with Daniel, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, just give us 5 minutes. I think Daniel stepped out.
No problem,
And
Judge.
then we'll
Thank
take
you.
it up.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
be- We'll be here.
All right, Samuel Albert.
For present judge.
All the way to the front. Then I go.
All right, yes, counsel.
Give me 1 second, just let me fill up the rest of the cases.
Okay.
All right, Judge. So after talking to Mr. Albert, now that the court has appointed me on CM 118-202, CM 118-206, and CM 118-347, I talked to my client. There's a plea offer that was tendered on the three indicted cases.
Mhm.
My client has rejected those plea offers.
Okay,
And with regards to the CM cases that I just listed, my client would like to ask the court to have a bond set on those 3 cases.
all right. So let's address the indicted cases. State, how long do you expect a jury trial to last?
Since it's, I imagine it depends on whether it's try each one separately, Judge.
Mhm.
But they're all sort of connected, so it would be proving up the cases all together in a sense. So it'd be probably 2 days at least, but not including jury selection. You know.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if we can get a jury trial date? And we'll say 3 days, and that includes jury selection. Mr. Albert, you're requesting a jury trial?
You know, this is my first offer. I don't even understand why we going to trial. They just offered me one time.
Well, here's the thing. In this court, I require that the state tender an offer.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you can accept it or reject it. Do you need time to think about the offer?
I kind of thought it might take 2 years right now.
No. Here's my thing. Do you need time to think about the state's offer?
I just want to bond sit in my case.
No, my question is, do you need time to think about the offer that has been tendered to you? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Mr. Cabanas, are you able to come back next week?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, when can we call this next week for a plea deadline date? All right, so we're gonna come back on August 22nd, and at that time, you need to let the court know if you wish to have a jury trial and counsel on August 22nd. I'll hear your motions to set bond on the CM case numbers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Excuse me, there's to be no cursing in this court. No, you did. So bye. All right, who is here on Joshua Montez? All right, and then after this, Mr. McLean, we'll take up your case. Court is calling 2024, CR 6460. State versus Joshua Montez. Off the record. Could you have them move? All right, we're back on the record. No, there. Okay. All right, we're back on the record. Can I have parties announce state? Defense?
Robert Jimenez for Mr. Montes, Judge.
Are you Mr. Montez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated? Third, that's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, according to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that there be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, 10 days in the Bear County Jail as a condition, ignition interlock for half the term, and 1 year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Yes. All right, yes. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
What I would like to ask for on Mr. Montez's behalf, Judge, is that the court consider following the plea agreement. Mr. Montez is here to take responsibility for his offense. After reviewing all the paperwork and the documents, he quickly instructed me to see if I could, work something out for him where he could take responsibility for the offense that he's here on today. The only thing that we would be asking for is, should the court see fit to grant him his probation, the 10 days that are a condition of probation, we would ask the court to consider allowing him to complete those full house arrest. Mr. Montez does work, but he knows that on full house arrest, he will not be permitted to leave. We would ask that the court give him a few days to turn himself in for the purpose of getting fitted for the ankle monitor. And really the main purpose of that, Judge, is Mr. Montez has children. One of the children has her first day of school on Monday. And he's taken her to her first day of school pretty much every day that she's had her schooling. And so he would be asking the court to consider allowing him to turn himself in perhaps on Monday for fitting of the GPS monitor so that he could do that on Monday morning.
Right, you're saying Monday, the 19th? All right, today is Thursday. You said he was taking his child to school when?
On Monday.
All right, so you're asking to be fitted on Monday?
Yes, Judge. Or Tuesday, whatever the court would allow us to do.
All right, how many children do you have?
2,
What are their ages?
6, and 3.
And what do you do for employment?
I work at Terracon Consultants. It's a concrete and soils lab.
Okay. So how often have you been drinking?
None since I got arrested, but before that, probably 3 days out of the week.
All right, so let me explain something to you. I know that when people drink alcohol, they don't go out drinking alcohol and saying, you know what, I'm going to get intoxicated and I'm going to go out and kill somebody. But that happens. So the way that you were out drinking and there's beer in the console, guess what? You could have been out, not intoxicated, with your 2 children, 6 and 3, in a vehicle, and there could have been somebody out intoxicated and they could have hit you all. And maybe your 6-year-old and your 3-year-old would not have survived. What I've discovered and I haven't run the statistics. My statistics professor would be very upset with me for saying this. But what I've noticed is that people who drive intoxicated, they're usually just fine, but they end up killing other people. So don't be the cause of somebody being killed, maybe your children, because of you. You understand? This is your third DWI, which tells me you have an alcohol problem. You're one of those people who cannot drink because you don't know when to stop. While you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol at all. Do you understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. Everyone, you're all going to have to whisper. Court reporter is trying to, I'm sorry, the probation officer, Miss Abrams, is trying to hear what I'm saying, and she can't because people don't want to whisper. But they'll whisper when they come before me. So please do not whisper when you come before the court. All right, the court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. We're going to do a TAP evaluation out of custody. And if TAP recommends inpatient treatment, let's start with intensive outpatient treatment. And that's with probation. I'm going to order 120 sober meetings in 120 days. In lieu of 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, I'm going to place you on full GPS for 10 days, and that's to begin on August 20th. Do you understand? The reason why I'm allowing that, because I know there's overcrowding at the jail, and also it's not really healthy. And so you have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old who live with you, and I don't want you bringing germs back to the 6-year-old and 3-year-old. So it will be full GPS for 10 days, beginning. Is August 20th enough time, Ms. Abrams?
That should be fine, Judge.
So it's beginning August 20th. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to order 150 hours of community service restitution. Once you complete parenting classes, that will be deemed satisfied. There's going to be ignition interlock for half the term. There's to be 2-year driver's license suspension. VIP live. DWI education course. Field visit 1 time per month for 2 months, and probation then at your discretion. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Thank you. So there'll be regular random UAs, and they will be testing for alcohol. Anything else, probation?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful in this probation?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do better. No drinking at all. Roland Miller. All right, today is plea deadline day.
Bless you. Yeah, John.
Yes.
On this case, the state was trying to reach out to the complainant. We reach out to the complainant person. Funny, but the family of the complainant is actually somebody that we had on the prior case that we were in contact with. It's just, he was scheduling a vegan trial. We have to go out there.
All right, so I'm gonna recall this, and it's gonna be a short turnaround. If I recall this for the 29th, is that enough time?
That should be, Judge.
All right, we're gonna recall this for August 29th.
And Judge, just to be clear, the state has made an offer to us. We're not accepting that offer. However, because of some potential mitigating evidence that is within the statement from the complaining witness, they're reaching out to her to discuss that. So I just want to make that clear that that's where we're at this point.
All right, so August 29th would be your plea deadline date, and we'll see if the state's offer change. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court, Mr. Miller. You always do. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Umberto Caceres.
Yes.
Rick Contreras.
Present, Judge.
All right, is this going to be contested?
No, Judge. We have, with the assistance of your lovely probation department, I believe reached an agreement we can all be comfortable with.
Oh, we'll see if I'm comfortable with it.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I believe,
All right, if you can move this way.
I do believe. I believe I can fly. Lovely song,
But can you touch the sky?
I believe.
Which paper? What paper are you looking for?
Do you have the paperwork, Jason? Okay.
All right, court is calling 2021 CR 2910W State of Texas versus Rick Anthony Contreras. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Charles Bunk for Mr. Rick Contreras.
And are you Mr. Contreras?
Yes, ma'am.
Why were you late for court?
My bus didn't come. I was waiting, at the bus stop, it didn't come, so I went
You
back
need to
the
make
house.
plans for that.
I called the Uber and I got here within 5 minutes after court.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and First Amended Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you understand it?
yes,
Are you the same Rick Anthony Contreras who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 2910W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on March 30th, 2021 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
yes, ma'am.
State?
Why the condition number one, for about the second day of September 2021, here in Texas. Committed the offense of felon stop and under a
How you plead to that, true or not true? Any objections?
No, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
Yes.
Motion, extend the individual for 18 months. Also, meant to have state ISF after that have PPS for 6 months, partial after the release, monthly UAs, and sober support meetings weekly.
All right. Is that the proposed agreement?
It is, Judge. That was a proposal we got from the probation department. So yes, we,
Probation? Are you in agreement with this? All right, Mr. Contreras, are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding violation of condition number 1 true. The court is going to deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to the following. Probation is to be extended for 2 years. State ISF, and the defendant is to be taken into custody today. Partial GPS upon release for employment only for 8 months. There's going to be the UA hotline until further notice upon release. And there's going to be 120 sober support meetings in 120 days. We can go off the record. Mr. Contreras, this is something that probation is recommending for you. Do not come back here for nonsense. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what you're supposed to do. And one of the things is reporting. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand?
No.
And what is happening with these other cases? Because they're not going to transfer him.
That is correct, Your Honor. I really haven't had a chance to look at them. I've talked to Mr. Buck. It may be a plea, it may be a dismissal, but that would be done in the next week.
we're going to ask the court to bring him back in about 2 weeks. We believe there's about a 30-day wait for state ISF. So we're going to ask the court to bring him back in 2 weeks for the resolution on the new cases,
All right.
if that's okay with the court.
We'll recall this back August 29th. Is that enough time? All right, Ms. Ferguson, on the new cases, he's coming back on August 29th. All right, thank you. Rosa Montoya. Come forward. All right, do y'all have what the discovery amount will be?
Judge, the state has conferred with us this morning, and we're gonna be applying for pretrial diversion, this morning. Your Honor.
As far as the state of where.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD date for Rosa Montoya.
September 16th.
All right, September 16th. Make sure you fill out all documentation. And once you sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stephanie Clyde. Or Clyde, come forward.
Now both of them have been without bond. One is an MTR and the other is a new theft
All
charge.
right, so Mr. Young, the state has a witness that's coming in at 11. They tell me the witness should be very short. So are you able to hang around?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I know you've been waiting to have this bond set. So if you could just hang around.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Would never see.
Robert Castillo.
I want to give this for one. Yes, please. Thank you.
All right, have you had a chance to speak to the expert?
We have, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
And so is discovery satisfied or not?
Not quite yet. What we've done, we have both our experts on Zoom this morning. Mr. Gallant had a chance to confer with the state's expert out of Nashville. We are in the process of getting the report from the state's experts, about 140 gigs. So I've got to bring a hard drive to download that from the state next week. We've also made arrangements so that Mr. Gallant can get a copy of the state's experts download and report. We're also making arrangements so that our expert can actually copy the actual Tesla drive. And that's got to be done through the property room, which I think there's going to be some hoops to jump through with that. Mr. Escobar has graciously agreed to try to have the detective present so that we can facilitate that copying so that we can get that done. And then we can just kind of compare the two.
And Judge, on that last point, the defense expert stated that if they had a chance to look at that original that original thumb drive, that they'd be able to verify that what we're providing is the exact copy and that it's in essence the same thing.
All right. Okay, then is 45 days enough?
It should be enough.
That should be enough. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna email the detective and try and set up a time within the next 2 weeks to get this done.
All right. Yes.
Just for the record as well, the conference with the experts today talked about some glitches in possibly with the software with Tesla. Mr. Escobar has subpoenaed Tesla to get their records on this particular case. We're going to do the same so that we can try and find out if there's a way that we can get the information that we're actually missing from Tesla itself. And so
Judges of the courts where we previously subpoenaed Tesla, they had provided what they had. That was something that we had already provided, I believe, to defense a while ago. There were other videos that Tesla had provided.
But yeah.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset on Robert Castillo, please.
September 30th.
All right, we're gonna come back on September 30th. Norma, what page is he on? All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You always do. I appreciate it.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I will be out of town on September 30th.
Okay. Are you here on October 1st?
Right. Oh, hold on. One second. October 1st is a Monday or a Tuesday, Judge. I will not be in town, so my first day back that week will be Thursday, the 3rd.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, put this on October 3rd, please.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Chong Tran,
For present judge.
come forward.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you want to read?
Why are you late for court?
Yes.
Why were you late for court?
Oh, I come here at 9.
No, you were not here.
9:15, Judge, you're right.
Yes. Your court setting is at 9 a.m. It is not at 9:15 a.m. You understand?
Same.
So let me explain something to you. I don't ask people to do what I won't do, what I will not do. People say, Judge, you can be late, but I'm here before 9. You need to make plans to be here before 9, because otherwise what could potentially end up happening is a warrant could be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Fine, yes.
All right, where are we on discovery?
We're still, there's one more disc they're gonna give us. We'd like one more discovery setting if we could, Judge.
All right, what's on the disc allegedly?
Judge, I have no idea. It's not even labeled, but it just says that it's in relation in this case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can you do a 30-day reset for discovery?
Yes, ma'am. September 16th.
All right, September
16th.
16th.
Yes, Judge.
Once you sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court, but next time, dress appropriately, but be on time. Okay? Thank you.
Have a seat.
Now conferred again, Your Honor.
All right, are you all ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Stephanie Cled.
Please,
I'm gonna learn how to pronounce your
please,
name.
please. When you have a vowel after a consonant, the
Okay.
former letter is long.
Let me just tell you, I have discovered that the rules I was taught in elementary school no longer apply. Like I was always taught when 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. That doesn't apply in every name. So
That was a long time ago.
people are just making up their own rules.
Names are like that. You can pronounce your name any way you want. You can pronounce Smith from, Jon.
Yes. All right, so here's my question before we go on the record. Does she need a bond also set in the 8049?
She does. I filed electronically both of
Oh,
those
no, I have
motions.
that. I just wanted to be certain.
Yes.
All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 8049 and night mag number 737749, State of Texas versus Stephanie. How do you pronounce your last name?
Plead.
Cleed.
Yes, ma'am.
Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
John Young.
All right, we're here on a motion to set bond. Let's start with night mag number 737749. My understanding that she has been in custody for 9 months on this case. Is that correct?
I believe so, Your Honor.
All right. And what bond are you requesting?
We're requesting, and we have agreed to $5,000 bonds on each of them.
All right. Is that the agreement state?
Yes,
What is Miss Clyde's?
Please.
Cleeds? I'm sorry, I leave the E. What is Miss Cleed's criminal history?
She has at least 2 prior theft charges. Your
Yes, most definitely, because that's why we're here.
Yes.
Let me see what page she is on.
On page 9.
Thank you. Oh, no, I'm able to see it. I see it now in Odyssey and also on the docket sheet. All right, defense and state, you've agreed to $5,000 bond on that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Stephanie Cleed.
All right, Ms. Cleed, have you ever had any issues with drug use?
I have,
All right, and what drugs?
meth.
Right,
Methamphetamine.
all right. Do you have a place to stay?
Yes, I do.
Who would you be staying with?
My girlfriend, Laura Sabatino, she's actually here in the courtroom right now.
The white shirt on the front row, Your Honor.
All right, and is she in agreement with your staying with her?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So in this case, I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. I'm going to ask for random UAs, waive fees. I'm going to ask for 120 sober meetings and 120 days. Is there anything, any other conditions you need so that you can be successful on bond?
No, ma'am.
All right, now, next, let's move to cause number 2022 CR 8049. Is that agreement to that bond?
Yes, Your Honor,
And what is the agreement?
$5,000, Your Honor.
All right, the court will set your bond at $5,000. Random UAs. Waive fees. 120 sober meetings. And 120 days. And just so there's no confusion with the person who is monitoring her, I'm going to have this case run concurrent with NIMAC number 737749. So they want to expect her to do 240 days. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on each of these cause numbers, I need a reset date. All right, so both of these will be set for August 22nd. If you'll give her a reset form, please. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Anthony Villarreal. Come forward. And Deputy Laura, you can start taking people down since, or put them in holding since the jurors are ready. Yeah, the jurors made it. Counsel, you're on this side. All right, who is the prosecutor on this case? It is Anthony Villarreal. All right, State, did you have a chance to speak with the witness?
I did it all.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson? Sir, how old are you?
I'm 32.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you set this in 3 weeks for a plea deadline date, please? All right, we're going to come back on September 5th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes.
And thank you so much for dressing appropriately for trial. I really do, I mean, for court. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.